We hope that audiences who come to the festival will take away the experience of what it means to engage with new work. Across the 3 days and the 7 plays, we want to tell disparate stories. We want to tell stories that are all told in very different ways from very different voices. And we hope that audiences will be swept up by some, that some of them will really cause them to think, and that some of them they will find funny and engaging. And by providing such a sort of diversity of experience across the 3 days and the 7 plays, we hope that audiences will understand that a new play means many different things, and to not assume that a new play is just this, or that a new play festival is just this. We hope to provide them with a really sort of engaging and different experience at every step in the way. And certainly South Coast Repertory gets something out of bringing audiences together for a new play festival as well. And it's a chance for us to engage with audiences. It's a chance for us to be with the playwrights as they experience hearing their plays out loud for maybe the very first or the second time in front of an audience. And so it gives us immediate feedback about what's working, what's exciting, what's engaging our audiences. And it provides feedback for the playwrights too of what is exciting about their plays, or where there are questions about their plays. And so it's a real gift for us to also to gather what essentially can be a little bit of a focus group across 3 days with 7 plays. My name is Andy Knight. I'm the director of the lab at SCR at South Coast Repertory. Listen to this video to learn more about the Pacific Playwrights Festival at South Coast Repertory. The 2023 Pacific Playwrights Festival lineup is one that we're really excited about. This is our 25th PPF this year, and so it's going to be an extra celebratory festival. I'll start with our 2 full productions. The first production that opens on our Argyros stage is Coleman 72 by Charlie O, and it tells the story of Korean parents and their Korean American children taking a road trip across the United States in 1972. It is a really beautiful, emotional, funny, and moving family story about what it means to be an American, and what it means to grow up, and what it means to remember. Charlie is a very exciting emerging playwright who we first got to know in, I would say, late 2020 during the pandemic, who recently got out of the Juilliard program. And we partnered with Charlie on this play in our 2021 Pacific Playwrights Festival, which was a virtual festival that was rehearsed and then filmed in person and then streamed. And we were so excited coming out of that experience that we just knew we had to produce it. And so we're thrilled that it's finally getting its world premiere 2 years later as a part of this Pacific Playwrights Festival. The second world premiere production is a play called Avaaz that is written and performed by Michael Shayan. This was part of our Pacific Playwrights Festival in 2022, so last year's festival, as a reading. And it tells the story of Michael's mother, and as she leaves Iran and comes to the United States in the early 1980s, and raises Michael here in Los Angeles. And it's a really beautiful, touching, very, very funny solo show that Michael performs himself. He plays his mother. And there's something really special and magical about just watching Michael perform it. Like Charlie, he's a really, really special artist, and we're so excited to be collaborating with him on this production this year. The 5 staged readings, which happen over the course of that weekend, May 5th through May 7th, starts with a musical called Dr. Silver, with music, lyrics, and concept by Annika and Britta Johnson, and a book by Nick Green. It is a new musical that tells the story of a cult, and certain members within this cult and how they navigate their cult and how they navigate relationships that are being tested by it. It is it has just some of the most beautiful music. That was the first thing that really captured us when we read what would essentially be a treatment of the piece back in 2021. We were just so taken in by Annika and Britta's music. And at that time, they were just getting started on their collaboration with Nick Green on the book of the piece. And part of them wanting to engage with the Pacific Playwrights Festival was a way to begin this collaboration, to begin working with each other on the book and the music and integrating those two together. We did an excerpt of this piece at last year's Pacific Playwrights Festival as part of our Samples from the Lab program, which is a program where we show sort of snapshots of things that we're working on in the lab at SCR. And so they'll be back again to do a reading of the full piece this year on Friday. The second reading is a play called Chapters of a Floating Life by Clarence Koo. It's a wonderful story set in 1940s New York, and it is about two Chinese couples who meet. There are a series of chance meetings that happen among these four people, and it tells sort of a really romantic, bittersweet, lush story about these two couples. Clarence is such a smart writer as he interweaves these stories together, and as he interweaves different plot points coming from different angles, not just focused on the sort of romance between the two couples, but also looking at language, looking at ingenuity, looking at invention. And so it was a real treat. This is not an SCR commission. This is something that we read this past year, and we were just really excited about it and just knew it had to be in the Pacific Playwrights Festival. That evening at 8 p.m. on Friday, we begin performances of our Nicholas reading. So this is a reading that actually has, most of the readings have one performance over the course of the weekend. This one is in our smaller Nicholas studio space, so it has 4 across the weekend. That is a play by a playwright named Noah Gardner. It is an SCR commission. Noah was one of our Elizabeth George commissions from last year, and it is a play called A Small Man. It tells the story of a mother and a son, a mother and her middle-aged son who live in Hawaii. And as they sort of are forced to look at their past as they want to sort of turn to their future. Noah is a playwright who is based in Hawaii, and he tells Hawaiian stories through his plays. There's a beautiful collision of realism and theatricality in A Small Man, and we're so excited to have its first outing at the Pacific Playwrights Festival. This is a very, very new play. We actually just got the first draft of this play in the fall of this year, so we're all very excited to hear it out loud for the first time at PPF. On Saturday, we'll be doing a reading of a play called Crosses by Blue Beckford-Burrell. This is also SCR commission and also an Elizabeth George commission. It tells the story of 4 kids growing up in Jamaica and then coming to the United States. It is a family drama. It is a horror play. It is a deep sort of psychological probing, and it is a very, very moving piece. Blue is an up-and-coming writer who we are so thrilled that we commissioned a couple years ago. She just had her off-Broadway debut at Page 73 with her production of La Rose at the very end of 2022. So she's very much on the rise, and we're so excited to share her voice with our audiences because it really is a special one. And then the final reading is a play called Galilee 34 by Eleanor Burgess. And it takes place in the immediate aftermath of Yeshua or Jesus's death. And it is once again sort of a a family drama as his disciples try to figure out what's next, where to go from here. It is a sharply funny and anachronistic play that deals with disagreements about what to believe and how to spread a message, and really what the message even is. And it is a play that we're very excited to share with audiences. We think that they'll really get a kick out of it. But also, the thing that's so smart is it really functions as almost like a family drama. And so you found yourself really swept up in this story almost immediately, and you see all the characters as people, as real people, and not just historical or biblical figures. Yeah, one of our special events at the Pacific Playwrights Festival is our Playwrights panel, which will be on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. prior to the last reading in the festival on our Segerstrom stage. And that is a chance for audiences to hear from all the playwrights together. To have them all in one space. It is moderated by our artistic and audience engagement associate, Adam Harris. And he just takes some time to casually talk with the playwrights for about an hour, and to hear about the inspiration behind their plays, and to hear about how they work, and what they do and what they're working on outside of even the Pacific Playwrights Festival. And then we also give audiences a chance to ask questions of the playwrights as well. At that point, most will have already had their reading, or audiences will have seen their production already, except for one. So it's a great time because everyone has context on what the plays are and what they've written. So that's this year's lineup, this year's PPF. My name is Andy Knight. I am the director of the lab at SCR at South Coast Repertory. And please come to the Pacific Playwrights Festival here at South Coast Repertory, May 5th through 7th. And so you can learn more information about the Pacific Playwrights Festival at scr.org.